gamma synchrony. And they discovered that the entire brain, usually you have a set of dominoes, okay? You hit one neuron, sends a message, next neuron, next neuron, next neuron, and the entire line kind of moves this way. Well, what gamma synchrony is they found a form of brain waves in the gamma range, that's about 30 hertz or 30 waveforms per second, okay? What gamma synchrony is you click one neuron on one end and the entire stack of dominoes falls over all at once. It's not a progressive series of dominoes. And so they started to wonder about this, and they found out that they ran a bunch of tests, and they found out the amount of conscious moments that one person has in 1 second lines up exactly with the gamma synchrony waves. Well, they began to do some tests on this, and so according to the tests that they did, the average human has about 30 conscious moments per second, 30 to 40 conscious moments per second. And what Stuart Hameroff explained in his talk was that when they actually took the brainwave samples of meditation practitioners and Buddhist monks, that their gamma synchrony rate actually tripled in some cases, which means that Buddhist meditators and meditation practitioners actually have up to 90 conscious moments per second as compared to the 30 conscious moments per second of a normal person. So, how is that not a benefit? I mean, a lot of people that get into meditative states explain it as things begin to slow down. When something dramatic happens to you, things begin to slow down and it seems like slow motion. Mr. Hameroff explains that that's probably due to the increase in conscious moments per second. So, that's one payoff. Okay, what do I have next? Alright, my next meditation that I'm going to explain that has a payoff that I'll explain after this is called syncing your chi. It's also been called scanning, sensing, or dropping your chi. And what this is it where you sit down and you begin to relax. And as you begin to relax, you focus and scan your body with your mind from your head all the way down to your feet, okay? And as you do that, and repeatedly do that every day, repetitively do that every day, you begin to build stronger neural connections to the areas of your body that you scan. And it begins to be easier to relax your body and to actually heighten your sense of where your body is and what parts are what and what state they're in. You can do this to such a point to where doing this scan actually feels like the feedback that you get from the neurons, you can actually feel the scan as it moves down your body because that connection is so strong. A lot of practitioners also have explained that you can begin to sense your inner organs like your stomach, your heart, your liver, your lungs, and their function. And it has been reported that you can actually catch diseases before they even become a problem with this level of conscious perception of your own body. So that's another really good benefit of meditation. Okay, so through meditation, you can actually gain a sense of absolute control over your body. Control of your mind. There's nothing in your mind and your body you can't control when you exercise your meditative abilities to that level. Okay, so I already went over that. Okay, so why is addiction a symptom, not a disease? So now I'm going to get into the meat of the talk and explain why, from a meditative standpoint of view, addiction is a symptom instead of a disease, which has been the pretty common thing that we're told in addiction recovery clinics and stuff like that. So let me first read the definition of disease. Okay, a disordered or incorrectly functioning organ, part, structure, or system of the body resulting from the effect of genetic or developmental error, infection, poisons, nutritional deficiency, toxicity, or unfavorable environmental factors. Alright, now let me read you the definition of a symptom. Any phenomenon or circumstance accompanying something and serving as evidence of it. All right, if we take the definition of disease, you could actually fit the concept of a fever under the definition of disease. The fever is not a disease, and we all know it's not a disease, it's a symptom of disease. So, from that point of view, we have a fever, and we've got this entire, like, world full of diseases that can cause a fever. Well, from my point of view, and what I've come to learn about addiction, I'm going to say that addiction is also a symptom. That addiction comes from an entire spectrum of disorders that is not necessarily even within yourself as an individual, but a disorder as an entire society, as a functioning society, the things that we're doing wrong, that addiction is a symptom of. If you were to look at humans, I would suggest that, or I would think that a superior race that came to our planet and kind of looked down at us and was like, there's addiction all over the place. They've got a sickness, okay? I think that addiction is a symptom of a greater sickness, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, keep in mind that as I go through these things, I'm trying to keep a positive attitude about what I'm talking about. Some of it's negative, but I just want to kind of open the eyes and help people see and realize why these things cause addiction, okay? The first thing is our diet and our food. We have fast food all over the place. We live in a high-stress society. So what happens? Well, we're running around with stress levels clear up here. You know, you've got to be to work on time, you've got all these classes you have to get to, you've got to get a degree or you're not going to be successful, you've got to have your day planned out to every 5 minutes or you're not going to be successful. So we've got all these, like, strenuous constraints on our society. Stress levels go up, okay? Well, then what happens? We don't have a lot of time, so we eat crappy. So we run to fast food places, we grab drinks from the store, we don't take time to prepare our own food. So we begin to ingest all these toxins and fill our body with toxins. Well, stress levels up here, toxin levels are up here. We begin to feel horrible, okay? We begin to feel, you know, disgusting. Our energy levels start to drop. We feel depressed, we get anxieties. And then what happens? Well, we look for a way to medicate that. So we go to the doctor and then we get a prescription for our depression. We get a prescription for our medication, or for our anxiety. We get prescriptions for all these problems that we have, and then we become dependent on these prescriptions. A lot of people go out and use cocaine and heroin and pot, and they start drinking because their anxieties are high, they're not feeling good, their bodies are unhealthy, so we begin to use these substances to make us feel better. Okay, well, what's the problem with that? The cycle that I see is somebody's feeling crappy, they have a bad day, they're not doing well, they start using drugs, okay? They start spending all the money on drugs, hospital bills, prescriptions, and so they don't have a lot of money. So they start buying fast food because it's cheap and easy and the cycle repeats. My suggestion for that is to just take a couple extra minutes a day and start eating healthy. I mean, sometimes it's difficult, but most of the time it's not that hard to actually, if you organize it and set a schedule, it's not that hard to eat healthy. Alright, as far as food goes, I'm going to get into some interesting things with the FDA. First of all, natural and artificial flavors. Okay, I went to the FDA's website and I wanted to see what natural and artificial flavors were. Okay, what they explained is this. How are spices, this is a question on their website. How are spices, natural flavors, or artificial flavors declared in ingredients lists? Answer. These may be declared in ingredients lists by using either specific, common, or usual names, or by using the declaration, spices, flavors, or natural flavor, or artificial flavor. Let me read you the definition according to the FDA of natural and artificial flavoring. Natural flavoring substances. Flavoring substances that are obtained by synthesis or isolated through chemical processes, which are chemically identical to flavoring substances naturally present in products intended for human consumption. They cannot contain any artificial flavoring